Clarity Clinical Solutions.
Clinical Trial Registries. Why transparency matters. Before the FDA Amendments Act of 2007, much of clinical research operated behind a curtain. In this video, we'll explore how public registries transformed medical research, why transparency matters for patients and doctors alike, and how you can use these databases to find information about clinical trials yourself. The problem before 2007. Before the FDA Amendments Act of 2007, there was no requirement for clinical trials to be registered or have their results publicly reported. This created a system where trials with positive results were published in medical journals, while trials with negative or null results often remained unpublished. Researchers estimate that nearly half of all clinical trials went unpublished, creating a dangerously incomplete picture of a drug's true efficacy and safety. The FDA Amendments Act of 2007 was a landmark law that transformed clinical trial transparency. Key provisions required the registration of all controlled clinical trials of FDA-regulated drugs and devices, mandated the submission of summary results within 12 months of trial completion, established enforcement mechanisms where non-compliant sponsors can face civil penalties, and expanded the role of ClinicalTrials.gov as the official public registry. ClinicalTrials.gov is a free, public database maintained by the U.S. National Library of Medicine at the National Institutes of Health. It is the largest and most widely used clinical trial registry in the world, containing over 470,000 registered trials from more than 220 countries. Each trial receives a unique NCT number, and the database includes trials for all phases of research, from Phase 1 through Phase 4. Who must register? Under FDAA, trials of FDA-regulated drugs, biologics, and devices must register. This includes Phase 2 through Phase 4 studies, and trials conducted under an investigational new drug or investigational device exemption application. The International Committee of Medical Journal Editors goes further, requiring prospective registration before the first patient is enrolled as a condition of publication in major medical journals. What information is required? A clinical trial registration entry includes detailed information about the study. This includes the study title, purpose, and design, including primary and secondary endpoints, eligibility criteria describing who can participate, the interventions being studied including drug dosage and comparator, the sponsor and investigators conducting the trial, and the recruitment status. Result summaries must include participant flow, baseline data, outcomes, and adverse events. The registration process works like this. Sponsors create a protocol registration system account. A study record is drafted and submitted for quality control review. The National Library of Medicine reviews and releases the record with an NCT number. Crucially, the record must be submitted within 21 days of enrolling the first participant. This is prospective registration, meaning the trial is registered before it starts, not after it finishes. Results submission is a critical part of the system. FDAA requires summary results to be submitted within 12 months of the trial's primary completion date. What must be reported includes participant flow showing how many completed each study arm, baseline characteristics of enrolled participants, primary and secondary outcome measures with statistical analysis, and serious adverse events along with other adverse event data. Publication bias occurs when studies with positive results are more likely to be published than studies with negative or null results. This is dangerous because doctors make treatment decisions based on an incomplete evidence base. Meta-analyses overestimate treatment effects when negative studies are missing. Patients may receive treatments that appear effective but actually are not. And research resources are wasted confirming already known ineffective approaches. How registries combat publication bias. Clinical trial registries are one of the most powerful tools we have against publication bias. Every trial is documented upfront so you can see what was planned even if never published. Results submission is mandatory, not left to the discretion of investigators. Outcome measures are pre-specified, preventing selective outcome reporting. Anyone can search and find studies that would otherwise be invisible. And researchers can detect missing trials when results are overdue. The World Health Organization runs the International Clinical Trials Registry Platform, or ICTRP, which connects 17 primary registries worldwide. Key registries include ClinicalTrials.gov from the United States, the EU Clinical Trials Register, ISRCTN from the United Kingdom, CTR from China, CTRI from India, and JAPIC-CTI from Japan. Together these registries create a truly global network of clinical trial transparency. Anyone can search ClinicalTrials.gov using a simple search interface. You can search by condition, drug, location, sponsor, or NCT number. You can filter by phase, status, age group, gender, and study type. Results show study details, a location map, and results if available. All data is available for download and through an API for researchers. This makes clinical trial information truly accessible to everyone. Clinical trial registries serve everyone, not just researchers. Patients can find trials they may qualify for and discuss them with their doctors. Healthcare providers make informed treatment recommendations based on the full evidence base. Journalists and advocates hold the medical system accountable. Researchers avoid duplicating studies and build on existing knowledge. And regulators monitor the landscape of medical research globally. Let's summarize. The FDA Amendments Act of 2007 made trial registration and results submission the law, not optional. Anyone can search ClinicalTrials.gov to find trials and their results. Registries combat publication bias by making all trials visible regardless of outcome. And a global network of 17 primary registries is connected through the WHO ICTRP. Transparency in clinical trials isn't just about good science. It's about trust, accountability, and ultimately better health outcomes for everyone.